perfectly fitted together.
In Baalbek, stone blocks were transported which have a weight of over 1,500 tons. And this not in a flat land, it's all mountain. We have absolutely no idea how such heavy loads could have been transported in the mountain. I have not even a speculation to this, but for sure it does never fit into the prehistoric knowledge of our ancestors.
This is the real mystery of Baalbek. How these stones came to be there, why they were placed there, and specifically how they were transported into place. Because some of the stones are of such magnitude that modern machinery is incapable of putting them there. But somehow our ancestors were able to do this.
It is one of the oldest megalithic sites on the planet, and it has these huge stones laid out in a precise geometrical shape at a time when the prehistoric people who would have lived there would have no concept of how to move stones of that nature.
But if the moving, hoisting, and setting of such massive stones was so incredibly difficult, then who or what helped to place them there? And perhaps more importantly, why?
We know that the ancients always went to powerful places, and Baalbek clearly is one of them. It is a place where the gods were worshipped, where the gods were said to be present. And so when it comes to Baalbek, this platform was built there for a reason. For what purpose it was used is a question we can't answer at this moment in time. But what we do know is that whatever was happening there had a great religious significance to them and was linked with worshipping deities. Deities which clearly are of an otherworldly origin. Hopefully at one point archaeology will be so open-minded that they actually want to explore this further.
We're just moments away from the top site on my list, and in my opinion, we've definitely saved the best for last. Can you guess what it is? We finally reached number 1 on my top 10 countdown of Ancient Aliens' most mysterious sites. Lying in ruins atop a vast plateau in the Andes Mountains at an altitude of over 12,000 feet, the megalithic stones found at this incredible location are among the largest on planet Earth. But even more impressive is how they were cut with such exact precision. And to me, they provide the strongest evidence that extraterrestrials visited our planet and changed the course of human history. My number 1 most mysterious site, Pumapunku.
Bolivia, South America. Here lie the mysterious ancient ruins of Pumapunku. Spread across a desert plateau are dozens of megalithic stone blocks cut with extreme precision, and some weighing more than 100 tons.
These are the mysterious ruins of Pumapunku, nearly 13,000 feet in the Altiplano of Bolivia. What you have here are massive blocks of granite scattered like some kids' toy blocks around the site. Archaeologists are baffled by what Pumapunku was, how it looked, and what the purpose of this enormous structure would have been.
What sets Pumapunku apart from other ancient megalithic sites is the incredible stonework, which some researchers suggest is far too sophisticated to have been accomplished using primitive tools.
One of the amazing things here at Pumapunku is the precision of the blocks. You can see with this block of granite that it's really been cut at very accurate right angles. Not only do these granite blocks have precision corners, but they also have these difficult drill holes that are going right through the rock.
Mainstream scientists believe The site was originally constructed about 2,000 years ago. But in 1945, archaeologist Arthur Posnanski proposed that Pumapunku was much, much older. By examining the structures and what he believed were their original alignment with the stars, he dated the ruins to 15,000 BC. But how could such primitive people, living perhaps over 10,000 years ago, have produced such flawless stonework?
The Spanish conqueror asked the Inca, the people living there, including the king of the Inca, what is this Pumapunku? And they all said, it's not us, it's not our forefather who make this. This were made by the gods in one single night.
One of the earliest chronicles that we have in regards to Pumapunku talks about that these giant platforms were moved through the air by the sound of a trumpet. They basically floated into place. And here's another very interesting thing, that according to the myths, this is exactly what happened with the Moai on Easter Island.
Could it be that the local traditions of Easter Island and Pumapunku tell nearly identical stories of levitation because the ancient people at both sites witnessed the same extraterrestrial technology? And if the stone blocks of Pumapunku were once part of a megalithic structure, how did it end up in ruins?
I honestly believe that Pumapunku is more than 12,000 years old. 12,000 years ago, there was a global cataclysm that destroyed a lot of ancient sites that we find, whether in Egypt or the Altiplano of Bolivia.
We had at the end of the last ice age all kinds of catastrophic flooding due to the events and the climate changes and the melting of the glaciers and increased precipitation. There were incredible rises at sea levels since the end of the last ice age.
More than 12,000 years ago, Lake Titicaca was 100 feet higher than it is today. And I believe that Pumapunku was literally on the shore of the lake at that time, whereas now it's 8 miles away. 12,000 years ago, it was hit by a wave of mud coming from Lake Titicaca as a tsunami.
A megalithic structure built more than 12,000 years ago with the help of extraterrestrial technology, destroyed by a great cataclysm. If this incredible story is true, one question still remains. What was Pumapunku?
When you look at the complexity of Pumapunku, the huge platforms, the interlocking blocks that was made into what they thought were indestructible walls, what you could have is the kind of perfectly made granite spaceport that extraterrestrials would want.
Although the origins of many of the incredible sites we feature on Ancient Aliens continue to be debated, to me, Pumapunku is so extraordinary that it is the one site where I will say yes, this was likely built directly by the aliens themselves. But make no mistake, each and every one of the sites on our countdown deserves to be investigated with an open mind. And it is only by asking the questions that we can finally uncover the truth of our extraterrestrial origins. Official reports of alien craft suddenly retracted. UFO investigations designed to spread disinformation. Government whistleblowers forced to conceal their identities. Over the years, Ancient Aliens has investigated the long history of government attempts to cover up the truth about the extraterrestrial presence on planet Earth. And now we're going to take a look at what I consider to be the most compelling and revealing examples as we count down my top 10 alien cover-ups. Many people believe that there is strong evidence that aliens have visited Earth and that for decades, even centuries, governments around the globe have been hiding information that has been classified as top secret. But is this just a conspiracy theory? That's what many had suggested until finally, in December 2017, the New York Times published a front-page headline revealing that the US government was funding a secret program to investigate UFOs. Number 10 on my countdown of the top cover-ups, ATIP.
On December 16th, 2017, the New York Times ran an explosive story entitled Glowing Auras and Black Money, the Pentagon's mysterious UFO program. It was the first time the American public learned of a top-secret U.S. government project, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, otherwise known as ATIP.
The revelations concerning the existence of the Pentagon's ATIP program are extraordinary. It is the single biggest ever news in the whole history of the UFO phenomenon. It's not quite a spaceship and a hangar smoking gun, but it's the closest we've ever been.
The article reported that the program had been in operation from 2007 until 2012 and was run by a former Pentagon official named Luis Elizondo, a senior career intelligence officer with top security clearance. It was Elizondo's job to investigate reports of unidentified flying objects and to measure what threat they could pose